Hello everyone. So welcome to my YouTube channel on performance testing real-time training. So in this session, I want to explain how to use a for each controller in JMeter. So please like, share, subscribe to my channel. So this is my YouTube channel. So once you go to YouTube, search for performance testing real-time training, and you can see my channel over here with my name and contact number over here. All right. So if you want to search in anytime in near future. All right. So now let me show you how to use a for each controller in JMeter. So first let me briefly explain what is controller, what are the different types of controllers in JMeter, and we will go to for each controller. So JMeter has three main controllers, right? So you can see here the three are samplers, logic controllers, and test fragments. So these are the three main controllers in JMeter, right? So samplers basically tell JMeter to send request to a server, and these are the different types of samplers. So we'll cover this in some other different session. All right. So for this session, I want to explain the logic controllers, and particularly for each controller. So samplers is the first type of controllers in JMeter. Next comes logic controllers, and then comes the test fragments. Right. Now let me explain what is a logic controller. So logic controllers are used in JMeter to control the flow of execution of requests. Right. So logic controllers are used in JMeter to control the flow of execution of your request. And below are the frequently used controllers, right? So transaction controller is one thing, loop controller, if controller, for each controller, and while controller, and module controller, and include controller. So these are the frequently used controllers in JMeter. Now let me go to the next slide, right? And these are the other different types of controllers we have in JMeter, right? So let me go to the we will have I will cover this loop controller and if controller, runtime controller in a separate session. So let me go to the for each controller. A for each controller basically loops through the value of set of related variables. Okay, so we will record a script and let me show you the exact requirement. Right, in one of the project, I came across the requirement that we need to visit a page and there are certain number of items in the page, certain number of uh, you know links in the page which we have to navigate one by one, right? So this is where for each controller will be useful. So let me explain the exact scenario with the help of an application. All right. So we'll come back to the let me explain the exact scenario where I where this can be applied and where you can try a script and you can develop a script and try it. All right. So I'm taking this advanced online shopping application for this. Right. So here you go. So go to this advantageonlineshopping.com, right? And you have certain categories over here like speakers, tablets, laptops, and mice. I'll click on these laptops. Say for example your requirement is like this, you need to go to the laptops page, right? And then you have around 11 laptops over here, right? So you have 4 laptops in each row, and 2 4s 8 plus 3, you have 11 laptops in this particular page, right? Now the requirement is once you come to this page, you have to navigate through, you know uh, you have to visit each of these pages, right? Hope the requirement is clear. Once you come to this laptops page, you have to navigate through each of these pages, each of these 11 pages, right? So this is where for each controller can be used, right? You can see here there are 11 items in the 11 items, 11 different laptops on this page, and you have to basically develop a script to navigate to visit these 11 different laptop pages. All right. So now let me launch JMeter and let me show you how we can use for each controller to do the same. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, So I'm going to upload like, many free JMeter, sessions going forward. So do like, share, subscribe to my channel. All right. I'm using JMeter 5.3 version for this. So first for this demo purpose, I'll use, the default template. We can either use the default template provided by Apache JMeter, right, which looks like this, or else, I have one template which I created for this application. Let me open that template. So basically this template, you can either use this template, or, like we can create our own templates and keep it ready for the, for each application, right? So I'm going to use, AOS recording template application for this demo, wherein I added one, thread group. To that thread group, I added, I'm turning off the CSV dataset config for time being. So I added one cookie, HTTP cookie manager element and HTTP cache manager element. And I added some transaction controllers. So you can see here, there are some transaction controllers added to the script. And I added one non-test element called HTTPS test script recorder. Now, so let me, quickly create the script using this template, right? So first I will save this, save this template with the required name. So basically I want to create a develop a script for viewing all the laptop pages, right? So let me name it as using ForEach controller. So I'll give the script name as ForEach controller demo. November. All right. So let me save it now. So let me, start recording. I'm going to use, Firefox for the same. So first select the target controller, first select the transaction controller from this target controller field. Start your recording. And this is a HTTP application, so we don't need to import this root CS certificate. So root CS certificate is required only for HTTPS applications. So basically this is, the advanced online shopping application that I'm going to record now is a HTTP application. And so you don't need to import that root CS certificate, JMeter's root CS certificate into the browser, right? So make sure that, you selected the appropriate transaction, and let's create one, XML file to capture I added one view results to listener element here, and I, appended, a string called recording log, just to identify that, this is recording log and this is my replay log. So I added, for this view results tree to the script, I added replay log, and for the recorder element, I added, just for our understanding, I added, I named it as recording log. All right. Let me quickly create an XML file in JMeter folder. I created one folder for this particular application. So let me quickly create, an XML file for this. And let me configure this XML file in my JMeter. AOS recording log 14 November.xml. All right. So initially, once you select that file, XML file, and right. So initially you get this error because it is an empty file which we created just now. So you can ignore this, and you need to click on this configure and and select this save as XML, right? And like to be on safer side, like select all the check boxes. And also make sure that once you select this is save as XML, this checkbox is important. And once you click on done, right, and save the script, right, make sure that that setting got saved. You can see here, right, so it did not get saved though I saved the script, closed it and saved the script. Let me do it one more time. Make sure that this checkbox is checked, the save as XML is checked. All right, now my XML file is ready, and let me configure that XML file. All right, and I saved the script, and let me start recording. I'm going to use Firefox for recording. So 48 is the default port number in JMeter. Let me open JMeter. Let me open Firefox and change the proxy. You specify the same proxy. You can see here it's already specified. So by default, no proxy will be selected. Select this manual proxy configuration and specify the same port number that you have given in JMeter and click OK. So right now your browser is ready for recording. Let me restart recording. And like before that, yeah, I have selected home pages, AOS homepage. This particular transaction as my target controller, and let me launch a new instance of Firefox, and I'm navigating to that application. Make sure that verify that your JMeter is capturing the request and it is actually generating the script, right? So you can see here, like this is the main URL that I have sent from the browser, and these are the sub requests as you can see here. Sub request to CSS file, JavaScript files, and so on. So you can see here the page got loaded, right? So let's move on to the next transaction. So the next step I'm going to perform in the browser is going to the laptops page, right? So select that particular transaction controller, switch to the browser, and click on this laptops page. All right. Now, so you can see here there are 11 different laptops in this particular page. You have 11 different laptop models. Now the requirement is like, we have to navigate through all these, each of these laptops, right? Or each of these pages. We have to navigate to each of these pages. All right. So now, let me change the transaction controller. I selected the corresponding transaction controller, navigate to home page, which I already created. All right. So I selected, in this target controller field, I selected that particular transaction controller, and let me perform the step, right? So I'm first navigating to one of the laptops available on that page, right? And you can see here the product ID is 9 over here. The first laptop product ID is 9. I'll show you that in the recording log as well, right? But for now, remember that the first laptop model has a product ID as 9. All right. So once I am done, like again you will go to the laptops page and you will visit each of the pages, right? That is a real-time scenario. Now, so I'll stop recording and let me quickly show you how to use ForEach controller now to navigate through all the 11 pages, 11 different laptop pages. All right. Yeah. So now first let me observe, all the transaction controllers and verify that it captured the JMeter captured the application request, right? And here you can see under laptops page, you can see the request is categories products, right? And in the AOS navigate to in the next transaction controller, you can see this is where we navigated to the first laptop model, and you can see here this is the request that we saw in the browser, right? Advancedonlineshopping.com #products9. All right. Fine. So, like now let me show you like, how to use ForEach controller to exactly meet our requirement. Again, let me repeat. So the requirement is the script has to navigate through all the 11 laptop models available. All right. So every time it has to visit one, different laptop model, right? So eventually, like it should navigate through all the 11 laptop models available on this page. All right. So now let me quickly show you like how to, how to use this ForEach controller, right? So before using ForEach controller, let me take you through the recording log, and in the request number 78, that is where we are seeing all the laptop models, right? So this is laptop page. Once we navigate to this laptop page, you see all these laptop models, and let me show you that in the response of this particular request number 78. All right. So let go to that, like request number 78, response data, and here you can see all the laptop models available on that page. All right. So let me show you quickly. Let's take one example. So this is the page that I visited, right? So I'm searching for that particular laptop model, and here you can see. So here you can see like, the product ID is 9, category ID is 1, and product name is HP Chromebook 14G1 Energy Star, right? Whose price is $299.99, right? 299.99, right? Now, so if you observe here, right? So, if you observe here, there is something called product ID, right? I asked you to remember this, right? To make a note of that, that the product ID is 9, which you can also see here. So I'm capturing this, first of all, I want to identify, like I want to correlate I want to correlate all the laptop models, or I want to capture first, all the laptop models, all the 11 laptop models into an array. All right. So for that, I'm taking this as left, you know, I'm taking this as the complete string, right? And let me, add a boundary extractor, right? It's always recommended to use, if boundary extractor was, it's always recommended to use boundary extractor. So unless until we, the boundary extractor doesn't work, go for other, extractors like regular expression extractor or JSON extractor or something else, right? So as far as boundary extractor works, right? So you can, it's always recommended to use boundary extractor. So I copied the complete line where I am getting the product ID, and I'm getting this in the response body of request number 78. Go to that request number 78 and add a post processor. I'm choosing boundary extractor, and use this comments field that is provided by Apache JMeter, right? And now let me, copy the left boundary and provide it in the corresponding field, and this would be my right boundary. So basically I want to capture all the product IDs into an array. So I'll name this, variable, this, that so the created variable name as c underscore, and while naming that, follow the convention that developers followed, right? I will name it as product ID array, because there are 11 values, there are total 11 products. So let me show you, like, in the script, right? In the, let me use boundary extractor tester for this. So I'm choosing this as my left boundary, or else, let me copy the complete string, select boundary extractor tester, right? And this is my, like I want to use this as right boundary, and like this is my left boundary. The product ID changes obviously, so I'm removing that, and you can use this boundary extractor tester element and first verify, like, whether these left and right boundaries help you to capture all the 11 products available or not on the page, right? So like we can see the match count as 11, and you can see all the product IDs, different product IDs, right? Now, so like we can use these as product ID as left boundary and comma and double quotes as right boundary. And I want to capture all the occurrences, so I use -1. If you want to select one product randomly, use 0, or if you want to capture all the occurrences, use -1. All right. Now, so let me add a debug sampler, right, to to verify like whether the boundary extractor captures is working perfectly fine as expected or not. All right. So let me run the script once. Like I have configured one view results tree listener and a name and which I am going to use as replay log. All right. So I know like yeah, and also rename this boundary extractor also with the create variable name, right? So that like once you see the script, you will understand that this is where the product IDs are correlated, right? Now run the script. Let me run the script once, and let's verify the debug sampler. Also, I checked this, generate parent sample, all right? So let's verify the debug sampler response data. Select debug sampler from the replay log. Go to response data, and here you can see, like the boundary extractor captured all the 11 different laptops or the 11 different product IDs, right? So now, obviously, we have to repeat this loop for 11 iterations if you want to navigate to each laptop page, right? We have to repeat this, navigate to each page, this particular transaction 11 times, because we have the the array size as 11 over here. As you can see the product ID array, match number is 11, so the array size is 11. So obviously we have to navigate this, we have to perform this transaction 11 times, right? Each time it should navigate to a different product, right? And let me like if you observe the first request out of this, you can see like this is the like while recording we navigate to the first product ID, whose product ID is 9, the first laptop model whose product ID is 9, right? Now let me show you like how to use a for each controller over here. Add go to the logic controller and add a for each controller first, and drag it to right, JMeter is that supports drag and drop feature. So I dragged it to the corresponding uh, to that to the place where it is required, and I have to repeat this. Obviously I have to repeat this, navigate this particular transaction 11 times. So I need to add this navigate to each page onto for each controller, right? Now let's understand. So now let's understand like what are the different fields in for each controller, right? So two important fields that you have to use are input variable prefix and output variable name. Right. So let me highlight, like the important fields in for each controller control panel. So input variable prefix is one, and the other important field is output variable name. Right. Now let me quickly show you like how to, what values we need to provide to this field. Right. So, uh, so the array name, like you have to provide the array name as input variable field, right? Input variable prefix over here. All right. So let me clear this highlighting. Yeah. So you have to provide your array name to the input variable prefix, and for output variable prefix, like you have to use index, right? Index of that output, that particular array, right? And whatever name you gave as output variable name, right? Whatever name you have provided as output variable name, so you have to specify it in place of the product ID. So this is where like we selected the product ID 9, right? So you have to provide pass that output variable, over here. All right. Whatever you specified here, right? C underscore product ID array underscore index, right? You, you copy it and replace that the product ID over here, right? That's it. Now, let me run the script and let me show you, like let's verify whether, the script navigates through all the pages, all the 11 pages. So, I'm clearing the replay log once, saving the script. All right. And, make sure that, you check generate parent sample, so that, your replay log looks clean and tidy, right? So, and let me run the script now. Home page is executed, laptop page is executed, and, and now you can see for each controller in action. So as there are 11 items, this particular transaction should be executed 11 times. We are done with 11 transactions. I mean that this particular transaction is repeated 11 times. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right now, so let's also verify whether, it is navigating to a different page every time, different laptop model every time. All right. So, like click on this request and you can see the first product. Okay, let me close this. Let me back this. Right. So the first product ID is product ID 9, and whose laptop model is HP Chromebook 14G1 Energy Star. And let's verify the other requests as well. So here you can see the product ID is 10, and the laptop model is HP Chromebook 14G1 ES for Energy Star, whose price is 1261.99 dollars. So let me cross verify with the UI. So this is the second model whose cost is $1261.99. And the particular laptop model name is HP Chromebook 14G1. All right. So let's verify the third laptop model as well, or let's verify randomly. So, let's verify the last laptop model. Once you click on this, you can see the product ID as 8, and the laptop model name is HP ZBook 17G2 mobile workstation, whose cost is $1799, right? So let's go to the UI, let's go to the application and verify. So here it is, HP ZBook 17 Z2 mobile workstation, whose cost is $1799. All right. Now you can see that, yeah. And one more thing. So if you want to see the request over here, right? So if you want to change this over here, right? So you can modify that. You can use the same variable name, right, over here as well. You can replace the product ID here as well. But this is first, just a HTTP request name. It doesn't have any impact on the script, right? So it doesn't matter whether you really change this or not. All right. So this is just for our representation, right? Yeah. So we are done with the script. Like, now you can see that, by using for each controller and by passing the array name as the input variable prefix, and by using index as the output variable name, we are able to navigate through all the pages in that, all the 11 pages in that laptop page successfully. We have verified it in the replay log as well. All right. So let me run one more time, and we'll, close the session for now. Hope you like it. So please like, share, subscribe to my channel, to my YouTube channel. So, like in the next session, I'm going to upload, one demo on loop controller and if controller and runtime controller. Thanks for your time. Do like, share, subscribe to my channel. So, before closing the session, let me show you. You can see the product ID as 9 over here, right? And now you can see like the product ID is 10. The product ID is 10. As we replaced, like as we use it, the same correlation parameter name over here, right? Over the actual request and the request name, you can see like you can see each product ID now, right? The third product ID is 7, and this is a particular laptop model 17T touch laptop. 17T touch laptop whose cost is $849.99. All right. Right. We verified that ForEach controller is working perfectly fine as per the requirement. And like in the next session, I'm going to explain like if controller, loop controller, and runtime controller. Please do like, share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thank you.